Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Lois. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
What are we talking about today, Lois? You want to kick us off?
Well, we had talked about fear, and we thought we'd kind of continue on with that topic this morning. And which one is more pertinent for you in your life? I know there's one for me, but is fear of failure or fear of
Success, maybe?
It just flew out my brain. You know how sometimes that happens?
Yeah, some like fear of success, maybe. Is it fear of success? Fear of failure and fear of success, or fear of succeeding and then fear of failing.
Yes.
And I think I have a little bit of both, to be quite honest with you. What about you, Lois? What do you think is the motivating thing for inaction in your case?
We probably have, I'd probably say a
Similar?
little bit of both, but I realized at one point in my life, it was easier for me to think about death than it was about life, because living was harder. Moving forward was difficult. Actually stepping into something and rising up and meeting a challenge and actually succeeding at something meant I had to maybe fail or maybe succeed. And I hadn't learned yet that failing was learning. And I hadn't learned that success came on the back end of failing.
Wow. So as we grow, we learn, and we learn that failing is not a bad thing. So I think we kind of associate a negative thing with failing. And I think that's why we don't want to fail. And so we would rather be perfect before we do what we need to do so that we don't look like a failure.
Yes.
I get it, because I think I've been through the same exact thing. I felt that if I was a failure, I would be laughed at. People would think I'm not adequate. People would think, what is she doing? It would be so polarizing and so negative that I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to appear that way because I was always in control, right? And I was always on top of my game. But when I learned that many of the most successful people in the world today have failed numerous times, but what do people really remember? They remember the success stories. They remember how they made it. They remember all the awards they've got. They remember all the positives of actually succeeding at something that they've been trying to do for so many years. And so for me, it was like, I don't want to appear like a failure. So I think on the other opposite end of that, it was always about trying to get everything in place, be perfect, have it look professional, have it look good, dot all my I's, cross my T's, all of that stuff, when that's really not what people are looking at. I think they are, but people are really not always looking at that. They're looking at what is the message behind what you're trying to do. They look at the impact that you're trying to make and why. They look at your whys. They look at your whys, they look at your reasoning, they look at your steadfastness at actually believing in something, your convictions. They look at your authenticity. They look at your honesty when you're conveying whatever it is you're about. That's what people are most interested in, before they start to look at all the fine details. And so until I learned that, it's still hard for me to not be perfect. And it's still hard for me not to have everything in place. But now I'm more willing to say, you know what, I'm going to try. I'm going to.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
We tend to be a lot more positive for other people than we are about ourselves.
Yeah.
And, we talked about Michael Jordan last week a little bit. but
Yeah.
he didn't make his high school basketball team.
No.
And I think the reason I remember that is because it was such a gift to me at the time, because I was feeling so down about myself.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh my goodness, if Michael Jordan didn't make his team, then maybe my life is not on such a sad track, right?
Yeah.
Maybe all these mistakes that I'm making aren't gonna put me in the toilet, right? There's still hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, there's still hope. And so those success stories kind of make it, put it perspective. I can't even get the words out today. It's early. What can I say? It puts it into perspective in terms of other people who have made it or are on their way to making it. You realize that there's been some falls and some failures and some pivots and some turns from what they were originally supposed to do. Things evolved for them to the point where they tried different things. I've heard of people being serial business entrepreneurs. Have you heard of that? That people are on business serial entrepreneurs. They have one business that doesn't work. They try another business, or they've got several businesses, and the one that works, that's the one they go with, or they just tried so many different things that they know all the ins and outs of what not to do with business because they've done it all and failed at them all until they get the one that actually works. So failure is not a bad thing. It is a learning, like you said. It's a way to learn what not to do. It's a way to learn that maybe that is not quite what you thought it was, or maybe that's not quite for you. So finding what is for you and finding your road to travel is what it's all about. So yeah, very, very important. Anything to add to that?
Back to the question, is there some sort of fear that you're getting stuck on? That's okay. Address it, look at it. Don't let it be something that gets you stuck, because it is not the end. It's not worth making a mark that sticks and holds you. And I think that's part of what we do. We let things hold us and let it keep us from moving forward. And that's easy to do. And
It is easy.
to be.
It is easy to do. But then then you look back when you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the road where you didn't do that thing. And now you're like, I wonder what would have happened if I did. So the other caveat to that is you don't want to have a life of regrets. You don't want to have to look back on your life and say, gosh, I wish I should have done that, or I wish I should have tried that, or I should have done it, or I should have gone. Do it. That's how you learn. Like maybe you don't like it or you do like it, or that you love it or you don't, or that's your path or it isn't. So yeah,
Well, and
those self-limiting beliefs. Go ahead.
one thing I would say about that is just put people around you that will challenge you to something bigger, that will ask you questions, and that will be for you. Not that will say, oh, that's a dumb idea, or I don't think you should do that. But that will encourage you and really, really be a lifter of who you're meant to be.
Yeah. That's
because
important.
you can't do it alone. You're not meant to do it in a vacuum.
Yeah. That's pretty profound, Lois, what you said. That's important. Surround yourself with the right people, and then you should stand a better chance of accomplishing your dreams. When you have like-minded people around you, or people that are in your corner that support you, then the likelihood is that you will do and accomplish what it is you set your mind to accomplish. So that's a very important point that you made. So let us know what you think, guys, in terms of what are your fears? Are you looking at your fears? Are you addressing them? Or are you putting them on the back burner? address them, face them head on. And whatever it is, it's probably not as big as you think it is. And maybe just moving forward, taking one step at a time is the opening to something great. So let us know what you think. So have a great rest of your Monday, a great remainder of your week. And we will see you all again next week, same time. Anything you want to add before we leave them for the week, Lois?
Talk soon.
Talk soon. Bye for now.